Hi, I'm Michelle and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about layering your styling products. Specifically, we're going to be talking about why you would layer styling products and then how you would layer your styling products. And this video might be for you if you find that you're using one product, however, you're not getting the results that you want no matter how much you use, and you find that you're using quite a bit of that product just to get mediocre results. Or maybe you do get the results from that product, however, you go through half a bottle each time because that's what it takes in order to get what it is that you're looking for. So one of the reasons that you layer styling products is so that you can get the look that you're going for without having to use an entire bottle of something in order to get it to look that way. The problem probably is that that product just doesn't have everything that you're looking for. I know that that's one of the reasons why I like to layer my styling products, because I like creams for the definition and the frizz control that they'll sometimes give me, and that they tend to be a little bit on the moisturizing side depending on the curl cream. But I also really like the hard cast that I get from gels, so I like to layer with gel in order to get that, so that I can have the hold that I'm looking for. So this is definitely one of the reasons why you would layer your styling products. Other reasons for layering styling products is so that you can make sure that you maintain your protein and moisture balance. A styling product might have more protein in it. So like a curl cream might have protein in it, which helps enhance curl definition and helps tighten up looser curls. It doesn't create curls that don't exist. However, it can give hair the structure that it needs to be able to curl to its potential. So a lot of curl creams will contain protein to kind of help with that. Some of them contain magnesium sulfate. So then what you're going to need after putting that protein in there is usually to balance it out with some moisture. So if you pick a moisturizing gel, then that helps to keep it balanced. Another reason to layer is to also counteract some of the negative effects of using glycerin on your hair. So if you use glycerin really early on in your styling routine while your hair is still really wet, it will help bind to that moisture in your hair, and then you would go back over it with proteins, with occlusives, and with hold ingredients like your polyquats, in a lot of firm hold type gels and stuff. Those will really help seal in that glycerin, so then that way the glycerin isn't constantly pulling moisture into your hair from the environment, causing it to get frizzy if you're in a really humid climate, or if you're in a really dry climate like me, it would do the opposite. It would keep pulling that moisture out of your hair and putting it into the environment. So this way you can still use glycerin and still get the benefits of glycerin for helping to keep your hair moisturized without it working against you by layering it, sealing it, and that sort of thing. So I have a whole array of products in front of me to give you an example of this. Okay, so let me start off with the prep stage of your hair. So this is the stage after you've washed it, you've conditioned it, you've rinsed your hair out. You want to put something in there that is going to help your hair throughout the entire process to retain its moisture and look its best. So this is a pretty important stage because this is the stage where your hair has moisture in it, it's wet. Water is moisture, and you're going to want to do as much as you can to keep it moisturized throughout the process, and then your finishing is going to eventually seal all of that in. So you start off, I definitely would recommend a leave-in. If you have finer hair, you might want to be careful about the leave-ins that you use because they might weigh your hair down. One option that you could use is whatever conditioner that you use. Just don't rinse it out entirely when you go to rinse it out. Just leave a little bit of it in, and that's definitely going to help keep some moisture into your hair and will do something similar to what a leave-in conditioner would do. But I have these two leave-in conditioners here that I really like. I like this one because it has a good balance of protein and moisture, and it's heavier. It's not going to be one that you're going to be able to use very well with fine hair unless you use the smallest amount of it. because it is heavier and creamier, so it might weigh it down a little bit, but I absolutely love it for my hair. I find that it just keeps my hair nicely balanced with the protein and the moisture. And this one I believe has protein in it as well. This one's a little bit lighter, and I definitely like this one as well. I think this one would work great for finer hair. When I use this one, especially with the Verb Curl Cream, I get some nice, light, fluffy, volumized hair, and when that's the look I'm going for, this is what I will reach for. So I definitely start off, like I said, with a leave-in, and my leave-in is determined basically by what I want my hair to look like. If I want it light, fluffy, and voluminous, I'm gonna reach for something that is a little bit lighter weight, but still is gonna give me what I need for protein and moisture, as far as that goes, to keep it nice and balanced. But if I am just looking for some nice, luscious, juicy, shiny, defined curls that look super hydrated, then I'm definitely going to be going with my Wedad, or I'm also trying out the Jessie Curl line. That's what I've got in my hair today. So this is my first time using it, and their deep conditioner can be used as a leave-in, and that's what I used as a leave-in on it right now. And I really like that as leave-in too. It's a little bit on the heavier side, so I definitely would be careful using that if you have fine hair, but for hair like mine that is a bit thicker and more coarse, more on the coarse side, it's perfect for that. So now that we've prepped our hair, let's move on to the next step. So the next step could be any number of things, but typically cream would be your best bet if it's something that works for your hair and something that you like to use and helps you to achieve the look that you're going for. Because creams tend to be curl enhancing, curl defining. A lot of them will sit there and say something to that effect. Like the one that I have here, the Verb Curl Cream, it says that it shapes, defines, defrizz, repairs. So, and I do find that this does a lot of that. And this one actually creates a cast. So this could potentially be a one and done for a good number of people. It depends. For me, it isn't. It doesn't have as much hold as I would like, but that's my personal preference. I like my hair to have a lot more hold. I do like that it has a cast. It just doesn't have as much of a cast as what I typically like. But this is definitely a really good curl cream that I would recommend to any type of curl, and even for fine hair. For fine hair, this might be all that you need. Definitely start off with a small amount first, because creams, some creams can be pretty heavy and weigh it down. Another one that's a good one for fine hair is the Curl Talk, the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Curl Cream. I did have that here because I tried that out. I have a video up about that. I'll post a card up here. I'll post a card up there for that video. My daughter is currently using it on her wavy hair and giving that a try, so I can't show you what that looks like. But anyway, so this is one of the creams that I like. Another one is this Feather Light styling cream from Wedad. That is advanced climate control, and it says defines curls and locks out humidity. I find that it definitely does that, and it is pretty lightweight, especially for my hair. So this would be good for all hair types and all curl types. That as long as you don't use too much when you have fine hair, this should work well for you. And it is another one that defines. And then there is the Recoil Curl Activator. This is actually old packaging. I've had this tube for a bit, but this is, like it says, a curl activator. This goes, a little bit of this goes a really long way. For my amount of hair, I'd probably use a dime size amount throughout the whole head, maybe slightly more, maybe between a dime and a quarter, I don't know. But a little bit of this goes a long way. The only thing that I would say with this is because it's got the magnesium sulfate in it, which does help to activate the curls, to enhance the curls, it can be a little bit drying. So if you have dry hair already, I would say that use this very sparingly, or use a different one, or maybe use a product after it or before it, or both, that has a lot more moisture in it to help counteract the drying effects of this one. But it does really enhance the curls. I really do like this cream, and I like mixing it with the AG Mousse Gel. I like mixing it with some other gels as well. So I do find this one to be a really good curl cream, but just be careful of the drying properties. So another curl cream, and this is kind of a curl cream slash setting cream. It's a Silky Souffle setting cream. It's curl immersion. So this is meant for doing like twist outs and braid outs and that kind of thing. I don't do any of those, but I do use this. For my type of hair, I find that a little bit goes a long way on this, and I like mixing this with the Custard Curl Immersion High Defining Custard. The two of these work really well. This has a lot of protein in it. This has a lot of moisture, and the two combined give me nice balanced curls that look really great. Love the two of these together, and that's why I like mixing products and using and layering products, because this has the protein, this has the moisture, this has a little bit more hold, this doesn't have as much hold, but the two together give me a great look. The next option that you have then after your curl cream, so you've gotten past the curl cream. If you're somebody who needs a little bit more than what curl cream can provide on its own, then you have the option between a custard and a gel. Technically, custards tend to have less hold than gels. Gels tend to be the more firmer hold of all of it between the creams and the custards and the gels. The gel is going to have the firmest hold. However, I find that Kinky Curly Curling Custard has a really good hold for being a custard, and it has a really hard cast. Some people don't really like the hard cast that this gives. I happen to absolutely love it. So this is the exception to custards being lighter hold. However, the Custard, like I mentioned, this has more hold than the souffle, but it's not as hard hold as the Kinky. So you've got these. Now the custards tend to be a bit more moisturizing than most gels. So that could be an option, and it all depends on what you're looking for. So custards can give you more moisturization. They might even help to elongate curls so that you can avoid shrinkage. And then if you are someone who likes a more medium hold and you don't like the hard hold or anything, a custard would be a great option for you. So, and those, because they're more hydrating, would be able to balance out like a cream like this that is going to be a little bit on the drying side. So then other options that you have then is the gels, like I mentioned. Gels are going to have a lot more hold than your custards and your creams, and these are the ones that really help to kind of lock everything in. So you get the nice definition with your creams, you'll get frizz control, you'll get curl enhancing, and then your gels will go in there and go over the top and just hold and lock that all into place. I find this one to be pretty moisturizing as far as gels goes. It doesn't flake, it doesn't have like this white stuff coming off of my hair with this one, but it does give me a really good hard cast, which I really like. It just does everything that I like it to do. So this is a really good gel. So this is a great one to try if you're looking for a good hard gel. It's part of their line that's meant for classic curls, which are more of like your 3-ish type curls. However, I would recommend this for any type of curl. If your hair is fine, you could probably get away with using some of this, just maybe not as much. Just watch out how much you use. And then another one of their gels that is really good is this Advanced Climate Control, and this is their stronger hold formula. Stronger hold, like I said, I like my strong hold. This is definitely a really good gel. I like this one a lot too. I just happen to like the Vital Curl one a lot more, but honestly, I am just as happy using this. So I find that this is a good option to use. So gels are a good next step. So after your leave-in, you have your creams, and then you can choose either custard or gel depending on your needs and what you want. If you need anything after a curl cream, you may not. You may find that instead of these, that what you want is something more like a mousse. And if you have finer hair, mousses might be a better option. So this one is the Play Curl Amplifying Foam. This one is meant for wavy hair types. I find that it's only going to work for wavy hair types that are actually fine hair. If your hair is on the coarser side, thicker side like mine, it's not going to do a whole lot for you. However, I do use this myself. It's actually one of the first products that I'll put in after I put in the leave-in. I put it in up at my roots to help get volume, and then I'll put like my heavier products in from here down to get the rest of the results that I want. But this helps with the lift and the volume. So this one would work great for fine hair. This one, fine hair, might want to go easy on. This one is a mousse gel. It does create a cast, but it's not a very hard cast. I like this one a lot. I like using this one a lot with the Verb Curl Cream because that has a cast, this has a cast, but neither one of them on their own creates a very hard cast like a gel would. But I find that the two together create a really nice cast for me, and they also give me some nice volume, which I like, if that's what I'm looking for. That's not always what I'm looking for, but I do like the combination. So mousse is another option. If you are finding that a cream alone isn't enough for your hair, then, but yet you don't like a gel because it's got too much of a hard hold, or it leaves a cast and you don't really like the cast, and you don't really like the custards because you find that they're a little too heavy and a little too moisturizing for your hair, you definitely might want to try a mousse. Just be careful on which ones that you pick. Like I said, this one is a little bit heavier than something like this that's volumizing. If you have fine hair, definitely go for something that is more volumizing. That'll help get the look that you're going for. Or even if you don't really want volume, if you have fine hair, using something that's volumizing is generally going to be lighter weight, because something that's volumizing is not usually going to be heavy, because that would defeat the purpose of the volumizing. So mousses are another really good option, and you can actually combine mousses with gels. That works really great too. And you can do, put in your gel first, put a little bit of mousse in, and then gel over the top. I find that when I use a mousse and a gel together, what I'll do is I'll use my leave-in, I'll use my gel, and then I'll scrunch this in at the end, and it seems to just really kind of helps to accentuate those curl clumps that I worked to get in there when I brushed my hair, and it keeps them, by scrunching it in there, it keeps them even more separate and more clumped than if I were to rake it through or brush this through. So that's what I like to do with the mousses. So those are great for layering and good options if, like I said, you don't like gel and you don't like custards. So then the last step in your routine, so you have the prep phase, you have your styling phase, and then you have your finishing phase. And so your finishing can involve something like a hairspray, a volumizing texture spray. With this one's from Custard. If you like a lot of volume, you can put this in at the very end when your hair is dry and get some nice volume, fluff it all up. This one can be used wet or dry. I tend to use this wet before I diffuse. I find that it helps really hold my curls. This one, because it is a working spray, it isn't going to interfere with how my curls form. So I really like that one. I find that it gives me a lot of hold and helps hold the frizz down during the diffusing process. So this is something that I would probably use with the Just a Curl products. But like I said, I'm trying out right here. They're not very hard hold products. So if I wasn't testing them out on their own to see what they did, I would probably use them with a little bit of this before diffusing dry. So these are a couple of options for finishing, and they are just that, they're options. You absolutely don't need to do them, but if you want a little more hold, go for like a working spray, and you can use it before you diffuse it dry. That's what I recommend. You can also put it on after you dry. It's just going to, I find that it kind of holds it more in place afterwards, and I like my hair to move a little bit more, which is why I like putting in when it's wet. And then this will give you some volume. And then another finishing step is your oil. And your oil I would probably put in before using your volumizing spray, or before putting this in when it's dry. If you use this when wet, obviously put this in first, then dry your hair, then use this. But otherwise, I put this on dry hair after I'm completely done diffusing. I use it to scrunch out the crunch. And then if you feel like you need to hold with hairspray, or if you want to put in some volume with the volumizing spray, you can certainly do that. But the oil is an important step, not just to scrunch out the crunch, because even if you don't have crunch, I would still smooth it over your hair. Put in just a drop, emulsify it, smooth it over the top, get it over your hair, and kind of do that just to help seal in everything that you've put in there. So you've gone to the trouble of finding products that balance each other out as far as protein and moisture. You've gone to the trouble of making sure that you've got your moisture locked in, that you're using your glycerin containing products when your hair is wetter, and you've used products afterward that are going to help hold that in. This is just going to help seal in absolutely everything that you've already done to this point and help keep it in there. And plus, oils tend to give your hair a bit of shine and tame some of the frizz. So this is what I would consider to be the last and final step in your styling routine and in layering products. Like I said, there's the prep phase, there's the styling, and then there's the finishing. And there's a lot of products in each of these categories, so it's all just a matter of choosing which ones that work right for your hair, for whether or not your hair is fine or coarse, for whether or not you need the protein or moisture. And I do have videos up about protein and moisture balance. I also have a video up about styling products according to your hair type, as opposed to picking out styling products simply for your curl type, because there is a difference. So if you're curious about what the difference is there, please go check that video out. And until next time, if you like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, please go ahead and subscribe. If there's anything specific that you'd like to see or just would like to say hello, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.